Hi, we're back with another question from a member. My goal as a managing director is to provide and include my grandchildren into my project. I want to provide a stable future for them. How would I start this process using the LWS plan? Any thoughts?
I can give you a lot of thoughts. Now, if you're the one in charge and you want your children, grandchildren, to be involved in your projects, do you choose them because they're your children or grandchildren over somebody else who is more qualified to do the work? Those are things that you need to be cautious about. We want our children to do well. Let them work into positions of responsibility, not just give it to them. Mm. Free will is with grandchildren as well. And there's a saying in the industry: you don't work with family. Uh, if somebody is already working in a place and you have a cousin or whatever's there, then you're not qualified to work there. And that's how it works at some levels. And why is that true? Well, it's been shown to be true. Two or three people can work together to create a lot of corruption that can be hidden one from another, one by another. And so you don't, and I'm not saying that that would happen with our managing directors, but I want you to be sure that you're using people in a good place. Don't give them major responsibilities unless they've earned it. Don't give them something that they don't want. So you work with your children and get them in a position where they can function at a high level. And then you've got some great you can create some tremendous experiences doing it that way. So what I'm doing is saying be cautious. Can you do it? Yes. You're the one in charge of the funds. Grandchildren, children, all could be part of what you're doing. Are they qualified to do it? And that's the question that you have to ask. And that's nothing that you just slip under the table and just try and do because it'll come back to haunt you later. I assure you, it will come back to haunt you. Now, here's another element to this. Each one of us will have a counselor that we can go to. There's nothing about a counselor in this question here. A managing director will have a counselor that they can go to and discuss with them different things that your great your grandchildren can do. And they know your grandchildren, they know your children, they know your parents, they know everything about you, just like God does. Because at that level, there's no secrets. There's no reasons for secrets. Everybody has a responsibility for certain things, and you don't have them getting involved in somebody else's responsibility because that's crossing dominions. So you'll have a counselor you can talk to. My, I'm looking at this Bill, my grandson Bill, to do this kind of work. Now, I I see that he hasn't had a lot of education for it, and but I would like to discuss that with you and see if there's a possibility that he can grow into something on the job training sort of thing. Now, you as a managing director, are you just going to have one CAC that you help manage as a family organization, or are you going to spread it out? are you gonna get quintillions or sextillions or septillions or nonillions or decimillions of dollars, whatever it is, yodlillions of dollars, and then only do 1 or 2 CACs? Why would they give you that kind of money if that's all you're planning to do? And then we come on to the other side of that coin, and well, I'm going to put a CAC in every country in the world, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do. Well, I am is a good way to say I'm sorry. You're not going to get that. You're not going to do that. A CAC is not an easy thing to set up, and the people to run it are not easy to find. But you can find them and will find them because they will come out of the woodwork already prepared and ready to do what you want them to do as a director or assistant director. So be very careful with your grandchildren. Yes, you can do that. Counsel with your counselor to be sure that it's a good move for you, one that you won't have to come back and regret. I hope that helps. Let's go on to our last question.
Thank you, Ron. We'll be right back with another question from a member.